everyone, it's Rayma, and today is a very special day here in Singapore because for the first time in the 5 years that I've lived here, I was able to find these beautiful zucchini blossoms, and these are the mature ones that have the wee little zucchini already attached to the blossom. So of course, because I saw these, I had to grab a pack, and I'm going to make a crispy almond ricotta zucchini blossom flower dish for dinner tonight. So let me tell you how to do that. All right, so this is a vegan ricotta, and the base of our vegan ricotta are these walnuts. Sorry, not walnuts, almonds that I have soaked in hot water, and I've already gone through the time to take off the brown husk that the almonds come in. Usually, if you have a really good batch of fresh almonds, you don't even need to put them in the hot water. You can just soak them for maybe like an hour or so, and the skin just pops right off. They kind of like pop right out of their shells like edamame beans. The almonds here in Southeast Asia, they're export quality. They're from the United States, and they're always a little bit dry. So I find that putting them in boiling hot water, a couple times even, helps the skin come off, and then they just peel right off easily. So I've peeled these almonds. I'm gonna drain them, and I'm gonna put them in my food processor to kind of make that fluffy, delicious ricotta mixture that we will use to fill the blossoms. When you get your almonds, make sure that they are the unroasted kind, unsalted, unroasted. Sometimes they're called blanched almonds. When making vegan cheeses, you don't want to get the salted and roasted ones because that really changes the flavor profile. So make sure you get the sort of the raw almonds. And to that mixture in the food processor, I have 4 mini garlic cloves. And the secret ingredient that's going to give it the kind of eggy flavor that you would get from a typical ricotta egg mixture is actually this ingredient, and it comes from Indian cooking. It's called kala namak salt. Sometimes it's marketed as black salt. You can see it kind of has like a pretty purple hue. And I'm going to put a tiny dash of that in as well. Kala namak has a very overwhelmingly sulfurous smell. It kind of smells like boiled egg whites, or kind of like a fart, like in a good way. If you were to kind of capture the essence of a very savory fart and kind of put it into your food, kala namak really kind of has that savory smell, and that's going to give the little bit of egginess that you would get from like a ricotta egg mixture that is traditional. And then I just have regular sea salt as well. That's the closest I can get here in Singapore to Diamond Crystal Kosher. So I'm going to use just a little bit, maybe like a teaspoon of the mountain sea salt. And then for the most important ingredient, I have about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. I use nutritional yeast a lot when I want to impart a kind of cheesiness and an umami depth of flavor to my dishes. All right, so I'm gonna put all of these in the food processor. I'm gonna blend it up until the almonds get nice and fluffy and pillowy. And then I'm gonna chiffonade my basil leaves. And I'm not gonna blend that, I'm just gonna add it in because I want the leaves to be pretty whole. Isn't it like awful that it's nearly $7 for a single like stem of basil here in Southeast Asia? So this is a treat. So let me show you how to bring everything together to make the ricotta filling for this dish. All right, so one more thing that I'm going to add to my ricotta mixture. I'm going to add the juice, maybe about a scant tablespoon of half of a not very juicy lemon as well. All right, so I'm going to blitz everything together, and then I'll show you what it looks like once I do that. All right, so this is what my almond ricotta looks like after I've been blending it on pretty high speed for about 10 to 12 minutes. It takes quite a bit of time to get to this texture. And as you blend, initially it'll look like, oh, okay, this will never become a smooth, fluffy consistency. But what you want to do is you want to add about 1 tablespoon of water at a time through the, that little tube at the top of your food processor until it kind of gets to this nice fluffy texture, all the while stopping every minute or so to scrape down the sides. I think I added about maybe 8 tablespoons of water. All right, so let's give it a taste. Oh my god, it's so good. Better than the real thing, I promise you guys. All right, so I'm gonna add my very, very coarsely chiffonaded basil, and I think I'm gonna give it just a blitz or two to kind of incorporate everything, not to chop the leaves, but just to mix them together. All right, and then once that's done, our filling will be complete. All right, so here's my completed filling. I think I'm gonna put it into my piping bag so I can easily get it into the blossoms. But before I do that, I'm going to stick it in the fridge so it gets firmer and it's easier to work with. So let me do that while I prepare my blossoms. All right, so in order to prepare the zucchini blossoms, I think these are all female blossoms because they have a little baby zucchini on them. You see inside they have that little stamen or pistil or whatever that is. You want to reach inside and see if you can break that off because that has pollen on it and it takes its space from the ricotta filling. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to try to take out that in there, and then these will be ready to fill with our ricotta mixture. Okay, so let me see if I can show you how to do it. It seems really tricky, but it's not too tricky. So you see that, you just want to reach in and there's like a little knob and you want to, don't pull, but you want to twist like this so you don't tear the flower apart from the baby zucchini, and there it comes off, right? So there it is, and now you have more space on the inside to fill your ricotta. So I've prepared all of my zucchini blossoms. I did break one because I pulled a little bit too hard. That's okay, I'll just fry them separately. I've done this before, but I forgot how fascinating and pretty these flowers are. They're just so gorgeous. They're like look at the gradation. Isn't that just beautiful? And these, it's been too long since I took AP Bio. I can't remember if these are stamens or pistils. Aren't they just fascinating? They have a little, I don't know what they're just so pretty. All right, so now I'm gonna go put my chilled filling into a pastry bag so I can easily fill these blossoms. All right, so I've made this before with the younger blossoms. The flowers are a little bit smaller. So what you want to do is to kind of fill the ricotta just up to here, like the cup part. You don't want to overfill it because you kind of want to twist the petals together in order to kind of put everything together and to make sure that the filling doesn't fall out when you batter it. Ooh, okay. So something like this. And then you want to take the top parts and you kind of want to bring them together and to twist it like this. There we go. So that's one completed, and I'll do that for all of my blossoms. Alright, so here they are. So I'm going to put them back into the fridge so they stay nice and cold while I prepare the batter for the deep frying. Alright, so battered zucchini blossoms are typically made with an egg-based batter, but a long time ago I learned this eggless tempura batter trick from Mark Bittman. So the secret ingredient is actually soda water. And this is really a 2-ingredient batter. I have 1.5 cups of rice flour, and then I'm going to add 2 cups of soda water and then mix everything together for a very light crispy batter. So Varda's going to help me with the deep frying. Our very thin rice batter is ready, and Varda's just going to dip everything in and put it into our 350-degree Fahrenheit grill. Batter does look pretty thin. Alright, so I wasn't super happy with how thin the batter is, so I actually dredged the next round, so hopefully the batter sticks to the next ones better. Alright, so here they are with their very thin, crispy, eggless batter. All right, so let me give these a try while they're nice and crispy. All right. This is so good. The ricotta is so delicious, and you can really taste the crunch of the tempura batter. Oh my god, this is so good. I'm really impressed with myself. Let me try the zucchini part. Oh my god, it's so fresh and green. I just love the light batter. It's not traditional, but it really lets the veggies shine through. So good. Sibi wants some too. I'm really happy with the way this came out. I'm gonna eat now, but definitely give this recipe a try. All right, so there you have it. Almond ricotta, completely vegan, zucchini blossom fritters. I first got the idea to make ricotta from almonds from Miyoko Shinner. Miyoko Shinner now makes commercial vegan cheeses that are cultured from nuts. And she has a couple YouTube videos from like more than a decade ago in which she makes similar kinds of almond ricottas. She also has this amazing book called Artisan Vegan Cheese, in which she also has similar recipes in here as well as other amazing cheese recipes, both cultured and also quick cheeses as well. So if you want to make more vegan cheeses and explore ways to use nuts to make cheeses, I'd highly recommend her book. And I hope that if you can get zucchini blossoms where you live, that you try out this recipe. It's different from the much more heavily battered traditional one, but I really like the light crispy batter because you could really taste the vibrant veggies and the delicate flower petals. So I'm really happy with the way this came out, and I highly recommend it. So I hope you give it a try, and thank you for watching.